So, all my friends, we are fortunate that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us this blessed month of Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan, we always hear that how there were those with us last year who are no longer with us this year, and who knows whether we will be around next year or not. It is something that is repeated quite often in the month of Ramadan. Namaz piche pad lijiye. Tabko khalal na ho mein khalal. So, this year in actual fact, we have seen the reality of this. It is something that is told to us often. We just hear it and overlook it. That yes, there were those who were with us last year and they are no longer with us. And we do not know who are with us now will be with us or not next year. But this previous year, from the Ramadan that we had previously and the lockdown to this one, so many have departed from this world. People are going to depart, nobody is coming here to live forever. However, we have seen during this year how many, those who are beloved to us, close to us, so many who have relatives, dear and beloved ones, who have departed and have left from this world. Which has really put the reality in front of us. This saying that is always reminded, this reminder, it has been even more embedded and it has been made firm within our minds and our hearts. That who knew that such a large amount of people will no longer be with us over the previous year. That on a daily basis we hear of so many demises and so many deaths. And of people, as I mentioned, who were close to us, people that we knew of. And from now till the remaining Ramadan, end of the month, until next year Ramadan, whether we will be, who from us will still be here or not, that is also something that is not guaranteed at all. And this is the haqiqah, this is the reality of this dunya as it is. As Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala mentions, that irtahalat al-dunya mudbiratan wartahalat al-akhiratu muqbilatan. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala mentions that the dunya has actually left you behind. And that which is in front of you, akhirat, that is a journey that is heading towards you. Means that a person travels, if you travel from here, you leave from Dewsbury, and you're intending to go to London, for instance, or Nottingham, somewhere in the M1. When you depart from Dewsbury, the further you travel south towards on the M1, what happens is that you're going to become further away from Dewsbury, and you're going to become closer to your destination. You're going to become closer to where you're going to come to, where you want to, intending to go to. Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala mentions that this is the haqiqah, this is the reality of this world as well. That where we are, what we have passed, that is past now. And each one is heading towards, and each one is going closer towards the akhirat. Each day that passes by in our lives, we are all heading towards the akhirat, closer and closer towards the akhirat. And this year has shown us this as well. That it is true. And Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala also mentions here that وَلِكُلِّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمَا بُنُونَ, that you have two destinations. One is this world and the other is the akhirat. And there are those who are desirous of both. So Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala mentions that become desirable of what? For the akhirat and not of that of the dunya. Why? Because فَإِنَّ الْيَوْمَ عَمَلٌ وَلَا حِسَابٌ وَإِنَّ الْغَدَ حِسَابٌ وَلَا عَمَلٌ. It says today, now where you are in this world, meaning that there are those who desire the akhirat and there's those who desire this world. So he says, we from those who desire the akhirat over those who desire this world. As today is the day of amal and tomorrow will be the day of hisab. And when tomorrow comes, it will be the day of hisab and it will not be the day of amal. Meaning that this is the time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, this is the opportunity that Allah ta'ala has given us to do as much as possible for the akhirat. There is no hisab at the moment. And because there is no hisab, there is no accounting and no reckoning now, it is for that reason that we take deen so lightly. It is for that reason that we do not show any regard towards the akhirat. Hisab with regards to dunya is something that we can see it makes sense to us. At the end of the month, we have all the bills that come to us. And because we can see those bills, we understand the need for us to work to pay for those bills. And after those bills are paid off, and then whatever is remaining, whatever luxuries we are able to purchase from that, we are able to see those things. A person works, and after working they earn some money. From that money they go and they upgrade their mobile phone to a newer mobile phone. They're seeing the fruits of it. They're seeing the fruits of working hard. They're seeing the fruits of having money in the pocket or in the wallet or in the bank. That they're able to upgrade to a newer phone. And when a person upgrades to that newer phone, that's when they will realize that yes, it was worthwhile going to work, it was worthwhile having that money, that I was able to upgrade and I was able to purchase something better than what I had. This is this world, the haqiqat of this world, that we are able to see everything in front of us. The akhirat is something that we are not able to see it. The asr salat that we perform now with Jama'at, the reward of that we cannot see the reward of it. Those who have fasted throughout the day, the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for one at the end of the day, that is something that we have iman on. We believe that this reward exists. As Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa mentions, Man sama Ramadhan imanan wa ihtisaban ghufir lahu ma taqaddam min dhanbihi. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa mentions that whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan in the state of iman wa ihtisaban, and in the state that he has yaqeen, he has hope in what? And trust in the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That one knows that Allah ta'ala is going to reward me for it. One is that a person promises us something, that look, I will give this to you. They promise so much to us that I'll lend you so much money, I'll give you so much money, I'll get you this, I'll get you that. Now a person will think, look, who is this person? Is this person actually able to fulfill their promise? If there are those who do have that amount of money to be able to give us, to help us, and then we will believe in it, that yes, for sure this person is, as they say, true to their word. But if it's somebody who's just talking, all talk and nothing else at all, then we won't accept that. We know that, look, okay, they're talking, they're saying, they're promising us, but when time comes, they won't be able to fulfill it because they don't have the means for it. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our yaqeen in Allah ta'ala is there, we believe in that because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to give. وَلِلَّهِ خَزَائِنُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. All the treasures of the heavens and the earth belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah ta'ala promises, Allah ta'ala is able to fulfill those promises. It is for that reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us so much that He does in the month of Ramadan. I mentioned this in last week's Jummah, in the preparation for Ramadan, that when it comes to the reward that Allah ta'ala gives us under normal circumstances, that is something that we, my dear friends, cannot comprehend. And when that is something we cannot comprehend, the reward and the jaza that Allah ta'ala gives us in one day in the month of Ramadan is way beyond that. It is way beyond that. Why we cannot comprehend it? Because here if somebody says they'll promise us and they're going to say that, look, I will give you, I'll lend you 100,000 pounds, for instance. Somebody needs to buy a house. And somebody says, I'll lend you 100,000 pounds. You'll say, okay, let me show me your bank balance. Do you even have that much or not? If they only have about 30,000, 40,000, they're not able to give us 100,000. Because that is what the limit is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no limit at all. There is no had, there is no limit at all in the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives. No limit whatsoever. And this way we are told that in the month of Ramadan, a farz is multiplied 70 times. This multiplication of 70 times, this is something that is just given to us as an example. Because in Arabic, the word 70, number 70 utilized, is to show magnitude. Magnitude in an amount, that's all. It doesn't actually mean the number 70, it means the 70 that follows 69, it doesn't refer to that. It is to show magnitude. So where one farz is multiplied 70, it doesn't mean 70 in the number itself that 1 equals 70 here, it means a lot. And when we talk about a lot, as I mentioned, each person's a lot is different. Whoever promises you a lot, their a lot is going to be very different. It's going to differ, it's going to depend on how much they do have. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards us a lot, that a lot itself is more than we can even understand or comprehend. Means the world's computers, the world's calculations will come to an end, and they cannot fathom the giving of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah ta'ala's allot itself has no limit. Our allot still has a limit to it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's allot has no limit to it whatsoever. This is the amount of jaza that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants a person in the month of Ramadan. And this is what Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions, that man sama Ramadana imanan wa ihtisaban, in the state of iman and ihtisab, meaning that we have that yaqeen, we have that trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever rewards Allah ta'ala has promised us, those are definite for us. That Allah ta'ala will give us that. That when we have performed our asr salat, the reward of that is guaranteed. That which we sit in the masjid with the intention of itikaf or listening to something of deen, the reward of that is guaranteed. At the time of iftari, just the way we know that our iftari is going to be guaranteed for us. In the same way, a mu'min knows that at the time of his iftari, the jaza and the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is also something that is guaranteed. That is the quality of ihtisab. And that is not restricted to soul. But مَا قَامَ رَمَضَانَ إِيمَانًا وَاحْتِسَابًا غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ, Nabi mentions, refers towards the qiyam of Ramadan. Meaning every ibadat that we do, when we have the quality of ihsan, ihtisab, which means that we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward us for it. So we do it with that intention, that the reward is yaqini, the reward is definite. But the difference between this world and the akhirat is that here in this world we will see the rewards of the work that we do. You see it immediately after a job when you are paid. You might see it at the end of the week. You might see it at the end of the month. But you will see the rewards of your working, or here maybe the rewards of not working as well, every few weeks. So, but you will see it anyway. And because you see it, you believe in it. You believe in it because you are seeing it. But when it comes to and because of that we are so desirous of this world, because we see the fruits of it. We toil throughout the day, or we toil throughout the night. We don't mind that. We desire that because we see the fruits of it. When a person is in need, one asks another, do you know if there's any jobs available? We ask people, do you have any jobs available? We want extra jobs as well. We want to work extra hours. We want to do a bit more. Why? Because we see the fruits of working more. And that is what Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala is mentioning here, that when it comes to this world is the place wherein it is amal. You do the amal here, but you're not seeing the hisab with regards to with regards to akhirat, whatever neki we do. And because we do not see the rewards of it, for instance, at the time of iftari, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was to actually give us something, give us. Hazrat Hakim Muhammad rahmatullah alayhi, example, Hazrat Hakim Muhammad rahmatullah alayhi mentions a waqia of one buzruk, and a lady came to visit him, and this lady was a rich woman. A rich woman came to visit him, and in some conversation he mentioned to her that, look, for many years I've been encouraging widows that they should remarry. I've been encouraging widows that they should remarry. However, they're not really coming forward and thinking towards remarrying. However, if there was an organization, and this woman, she was quite wealthy, indicating towards her that if somebody like you or an organization was to encourage them, or if the government was to encourage them that, look, any widow that remarries would be given a government grant, then you'll see that many of these widows who do not want to marry, they will start marrying now. Why? Because they will see what the benefit in the form of the grants that will come in their way. So they'll become encouraged to do that. The same with us as well. If we were to be given some grants also, that if there was grants that the government was to say, for example, there was some special faith and worship grants, that all those who are in the masjid must register the musallis, must register and take the names and details of every musalli who comes for salat. And then fill the forms and everything, whatever details, send it on to us with obviously your stamp and that there's guaranteed that so-and-so person came to the masjid for salat, and then at the end of the month or at the end of the scheme, they will get so much per salat. Then, my dear friends, we will find that we'll be in the streets, especially with the social distancing, we'll be in the streets, our salat will be in the streets as well. We'd have to tell people, please stay at home. We'd have to stay at home, or maybe in the first salat itself, the government website would be down. You would not be able to hack it. That's how many would come to the masjid if we knew that look, something of that nature was be given to us. Why? Because we can see the fruits of it. And that will make sense to us, and that will be appealing to us. Those who do not like to fast in the month of Ramadan, who do not fast, they as well. If there was a fasting test at the end of Iftari, because you could be faking it as well, a test to see that is this person fasting or not. And send that off to the government and you'll get something in return for that. Those who don't want to fast will definitely fast. They will fast as well. And in the case of we get overtime as well, never mind, we'll fast the next day as well, continuously without doing Iftari. We won't mind those type of things because we can see the fruits of it. When it comes to matters of deen, my dear friends, there is a case of, because we're not seeing the fruits. We might feel that yes, we fast throughout the day, so within our homes we have special feasts and special food now in reward of the fasting, so we see that, for instance. We went to the masjid, but we do not see the fruits of going to the masjid. So that is something that doesn't become, is not a priority for us. A mu'min is the one who, my dear friends, who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and believes in all the rewards that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised us. And because he believes in those, he'll do for the sake of the akhirat, knowing that all the reward is guaranteed for me in the akhirat. And in this blessed month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the manner in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favors us, the manner in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us, my dear friends, no words can actually describe that. We give a waz, we give this lecture and bayan, we try and open it up, we try and explain the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us, but the reality, haqiqat is that it is something that words cannot put together. Lugat ta'bir karti hai ma'ani ko, lugat ta'bir karti hai ma'ani ko, muhabbat kehte hai dil ki kahani ko. That this is something, that relationship that we have, the relationship between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His servants is something that you cannot translate that. You cannot put that into words of how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favors us and how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us. It is something that we cannot put into words. And the best way of trying to understand this is the month of Ramadan. That the month of Ramadan, why has Allah ta'ala blessed us with the month of Ramadan? We know of the fact that it is a month of لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. It is a month of fasting. But why did Allah ta'ala actually bring the month of Ramadan? Why did Allah ta'ala ordain fasting upon us? One is that we become righteous. But aside from that reason, the other reason is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us so much. Allah ta'ala favors us so much that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us and blessed us this month, the month of Ramadan, so that we can redeem ourselves. We can make up for all the loss throughout the year. Now, for instance, we were not actually punctual on our deed. We were not punctual with salat. And just imagine if we have missed any salat throughout the year, how much reward we have missed. How much reward we have missed out on by not reading our salat. In the month of Ramadan, at least now we start reading our salah, that one farz is multiplied 70 times. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us so much reward for the reward that we missed out on. However, that doesn't mean, because you do get this type of foolish people who might think of, if that is the case, that in the month of Ramadan, if I read one farz salah, then that's going to be 70. So that's 70 sorted. Another first salat, another 70. So throughout the year, don't do anything at all. Like you do have in 15th of Shaban. There are some people, and especially various parts of the world, wherein on the 15th of Shaban, they'll go to various peers and they'll go to various dargahs and these places. And there they believe is that whoever the Baba Hazrat there is, on the 15th of Shaban, whatever dua he makes, he'll make dua for us, or if we do tawaf there at the mazar, then all the salat that we didn't perform throughout the year, that will be forgiven. All the fasting that we didn't do throughout the year, that will be forgiven. So it's very easy, don't do anything at all. Just go to the mazar there, do a bit of tawaf, put a cloth over the mayyat, put some flowers there, over the qabr, and do these things. And that will suffice for what we haven't done throughout the year. So here it will not suffice in that sense. Whatever salat we have missed, we have to make up for that. But the reward wise, because we have missed out on so much reward. Throughout the year, our dedication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been very limited. We weren't as dedicated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that, look, He wants us to make up for the loss. Allah ta'ala blessed us with the month of Ramadan, so that we can do as much as possible in the month of Ramadan. And the more that a person does, the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can reward us. This is the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is telling us, look, you exert yourselves, and the reward of that is going to be unlimited. It's going to be unlimited. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has so much affection and love for us, in simple words, Allah has so much care for us, then why do we not have care for our obligations to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And what Allah ta'ala gives us is much more, way much more than that which we do. The ibadat that we are doing, even the sawm, the fasting that we do, although for us it may seem a lot, we might feel it. But in comparison to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us and the reward that Allah ta'ala has in mind for us, it is nothing at all. And for this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with this blessed month, that at least throughout the year, whatever the neglect that came about, we are able to redeem ourselves, we are able to make up for it by doing as much as possible in the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, giving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the opportunity for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward us. Any excuse for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us reward, any excuse for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us. And for that Allah, because if we did not have the month of Ramadan in our calendar, in our Islamic calendar, if we didn't have the month of Ramadan, every month would be the same, pass the same. Just the way we passed the month of Shaban, the month of Rajab, and the previous month throughout the year, meaning the neglect, how we are now in Ramadan, we're not like that outside the month of Ramadan. So if this month did not come in between, it would be a similar cycle, constant. And the cycle would continue, and the effects of that would be that we would become more and more away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather than being attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the effects that it would have had. That we become, meaning the closer we go to our graves, where we are getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in actual fact, we'll be close to Allah, but we'll be distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a month of Ramadan that at least brings us back on track. It is the tuning that needs to be done there. That throughout the 11 months we are off tune, we are off balance. So this is a month wherein our servicing takes place. That we are tuned again, our hearts are tuned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That our focus now is towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where we lost focus to why Allah ta'ala has created us. We lost focus and we started giving preference to this world as thinking that we're going to remain and we're going to live here forever and ever. We're not going to leave from this world. Allah Ta'ala gives us this month in order for us to get our priorities right. For us to move slightly away from dunya. So that when a person moves slightly away from dunya, that's when a person can realize that, look, everything is not dunya. There is something else but dunya. And when a person comes into the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is when a person will realize that, look, there is something greater than this world, and that is what doing the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the effects of that, the enjoyment of that, the effects. in the enjoyment in what? In doing the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In living a life that is in the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala puts a stop in our tracks so that we turn now towards Him. And throughout this year we mentioned that COVID itself is what Allah ta'ala put a stop in our tracks in order to awaken us, to shake us up, to give us a glimpse of the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just a minute glimpse of the qudrat and the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah ta'ala showed us what His qudrat is. That how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could bring the entire world to a standstill. Where everything could come to a stop if Allah ta'ala destined. To that extent, that even the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taking place in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala put a stop to that as well. Allah ta'ala put a stop to that. Why? Because we need our shops to be open. We need our businesses to be open to live and to carry on with. Allah ta'ala doesn't need any of our ibadat to carry on with. Allah ta'ala in His magnitude, in His majesty will remain where He is. He'll always remain azim. Irrelevant of whether we do His ibadat or not. If all the Muslims throughout the world decide that we're going to boycott Ramadan and we're not going to do any ibadat, it won't affect any other thing at all in the jalal and the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah ta'ala is not in need of our ibadat. It is we who are in need to do the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are in need of the masjid to be open so we can go to the masjid to do the ibadat of Allah. We are in need of the Qur'an available so we can read the Qur'an. We are in need to learn to read the Qur'an so that we can learn, that we can read the Qur'an. We are in need of these opportunities to do as much as possible for the akhirat. Allah Ta'ala is not in need of this. And Allah Ta'ala brought such a stop there that the haramain were even closed. Everything. One would have thought that, look, these are the house of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala is showing, look, here nothing at all. It is only me alone. And things will only open when I give the green light. You can have your own systems and your tier systems and your lighting system, whatever the case is. But it will only happen when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. We assumed and we thought that in September things would be fine and we will be already now out and out of it, but then we went back into lockdown. We went back into lockdown. What is destined further, it is only in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah ta'ala wants we come out from it, we will do. If Allah ta'ala doesn't want to, then we won't be able to. Allah Ta'ala is showing His qudrat to each and every one. There were those who were healthy, very healthy, alhamdulillah, who thought nothing could happen to them at this age, at this moment in life. They became so ill and within days they left from this world. Within days and moments they departed and left from this world. And there were those who were shielding, who were so fearful and who were unhealthy, who had various illnesses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept them alive, alhamdulillah. They are still alive. They may have become ill as well, but they're still alive. And there were those who were absolutely healthy, no underlying illnesses whatsoever, became ill and within days they departed from this world. Allah Ta'ala is showing us everywhere His qudrat. That there were those who had to depart from this world, old age anyway. It was their time, COVID was just an excuse. There were those who were healthy, Allah Ta'ala took them away. There were those who were not who were unhealthy, who had illnesses, who were ill, Allah Ta'ala took them away. Allah Ta'ala showed us left, right, center His power and His qudrat. That the might and powers of the world could not stop. Whether it was advanced countries of the world, developed countries of the world, or whether it would be the poorer countries of the world, both had to go into lockdown. But rather Allah Ta'ala showed us the opposite. That the poorer countries were still on the go. They were still on the go and carrying on. And the richer countries had to come to a total standstill. Busy hubs, business centers, business areas and towns, everything closed and shut. Absolutely, not because it was a holiday or so, but because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destined that it all should be. This is the qudrat and power of Allah ta'ala. In other words, plain simple words, COVID was the message from Allah ta'ala, do not mess with me. COVID-19 is what? The message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that to just, as I mentioned, a slight glimpse. Allah's qudrat, Allah's might and power, but we haven't even seen that, we cannot even imagine that. Look, the Qiyamah will come, then everything, the whole world developed, everything is going to be reduced to rubble, no matter how strong and firm your buildings were. Make your buildings earth-proof as well, but when the Qiyamah will come, nothing will be standing whatsoever. Here this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, message for us that Allah ta'ala gave us. And as I mentioned to you, such a message that it affected our deen as well. Last day Ramadan, where were we? Last day Ramadan, I was still here. And I was still giving the waz, alhamdulillah, from here as well. But the attendants were not here. The masjids were closed. The doors were locked. And just imagine, Ramadan wherein masjids are so full and packed for this blessed month. Last year it was closed and shut. The Haramain was shut and closed as well. Only the imams and few workers were performing ibadat in there. Again, Allah Ta'ala gave this lesson to us, that who would have expected a year ago that the doors of the masjid would be locked for the public by law. We would not have imagined that any public place, and from public places, places of worship, and that our masjid, we know masjid are always open 5 times a day. They're going to, even if they lock in between, but 5 for daily salats, 5 times, is definitely going to open. You cannot lock it and prevent people without a valid reason. Here, we had no option whatsoever. Even if the masjids were clean and sanitized and everything, then too we could not open the masjid, we were not allowed. Allah Ta'ala showed His power and qudrat to us. And my dear friends, the fact that we have come through that, and Allah Ta'ala has granted us this opportunity now this year, and how fast this year has passed as well. Our lives are going to pass so fast as well. And this is in this month we should actually remember last year Ramadan. All the lost opportunities of performing Salat with Jama'at. The manner in which Tarawih, this year, my dear friends, when we stand in Tarawih, if we haven't still, then tonight, when you stand in Tarawih, reflect and remember last year's Tarawih. Remember last year that when you were standing and reciting just a few surahs that you knew. Or maybe, yes, somebody was a Hafiz of Quran who was reading for us within our families, but just how we were within our homes, a couple of individuals, and we were not in the masjid reading our Tarawih Salah. Remember of Iftari, that look at Iftari, there was no rush to get back to go to the masjid for this Salat and that Salat. We didn't have any of those last year. The fact that now Allah Ta'ala has given us that opportunity this year, every Salat and every rakat of every Salat, the enjoyment of that should be increased, should be multiplied. Increased. Should be increased, knowing the fact that where we were last year, and that now alhamdulillah Allah Ta'ala has opened things up and we are in the house of Allah, and along with that we should be shukr for that, and asking Allah Ta'ala, oh Allah, till our demise and our death, always keep the doors of the masjid open for us. That till our demise, that neither there should be anything of this level, where we are healthy and willing to go to the masjid, we can't go to the masjid, and similarly our health should be good, that we are still able to go to the masjid, my dear friends. We are such that we will have the masjid in front of us, stone's throw away from us, streets away from us, walking distance from our homes, but we do not. And last year I mentioned this a couple of times as well, that whenever we used to go out, then there used to be people you meet and they ask me, masjid kab khulegi, masjid kab khulegi? Bhai, aapko aana hai masjid mein? Masjid khulegi to kya aap aane wale hain masjid mein? Bhai, aane wale ho to pucho ki bhai masjid kab khulegi? Just ask him when the masjid will open, when the masjid will open. But no intention that they'll be coming to the masjid. One year and they still haven't come to the masjid. We just asked for the sake of asking, but when the masjid was open, then they asked when it will open, when it's closed. But when it's open, then we don't want to come to the masjid. We're not coming to the masjid. A great bounty, great ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the fact that we are able to do the ibadat of Allah ta'ala, and the fact that all of us now, alhamdulillah, are in good health. There were those who remained in good health. There were those who became ill and resumed, alhamdulillah. Who became ill and recovered. Great bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there were those who have not recovered, who are still ill. And there are those who have departed from this world. But those who have departed from this world, my dear friends, they have gone off to a better place. But a better place only for those who had prepared for that place. For those who had prepared for that place, for them they have gone off to a better place. They are much better. You would rather be where they are than be sat here now. The iftari that we're going to have compared to the iftari that they get on a daily basis there in the hereafter, but you would rather be there than be here. But that is for who? For those, and I've been mentioning this over the last couple of Jummas as well, on this topic as well, that there are so many people who passed away suddenly, as mentioned, they became ill, they were taken to hospital, within days they left, they departed from this world. And we were so shocked, those who were close to them felt that shock and that loss. But that individual who leaves this world in such a manner, my dear friends, if they have done something for the journey that they're going to undertake, for them it's fine. Sudden death in such a manner will not affect that individual, because they are ever ready. That whenever you call, it's fine. Whenever Allah Ta'ala calls, whenever the angel of death comes, they are fine, they are ready, because they have done something for it. Those who haven't done anything, they are the ones who are going to be worried. It is their family members who are going to be worried. Otherwise, the family members they grieve and they have sorrow. They feel sad on it. But they are pleased as well, having that ummeed and hope that no, our relative is in a better place. Otherwise, the family members as well, along with the grief and sorrow, still have that concern in their minds. Look, but my fula, my father, my mother, parent, wife, sister, brother, whoever, but they were not practicing. They were not good individuals. They were not good individuals, they were not practicing. So there's always that concern that what will happen with them, what will happen with them. And what does that do? That increases the grief that a person has. You know, the Quran tafsir I mentioned recently, the Sayyid bin Jubair radiallahu ta'ala on one occasion mentioned as well, that the grief that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum feel. What grief? Knowing that they had so many family members who left from this world without Iman. Who left without Iman. So he mentions that, look, we have such grief that others do not have. Those who are already in Muslim families, they don't have that grief that we have, knowing that our beloveds left from this world without Iman. A person leaves from this world without pleasing Allah Ta'ala, there is also an extra grievance that comes upon the family members as well. Hence, my dear friends, it is very, very important that we need to rectify ourselves. We need to change our ways, change our lives. And inshallah, there will be many things that will be said throughout the month of Ramadan. But sometimes in the month of Ramadan here, one talk, one session is not one complete talk. It's not one complete talk, it continues. It continues throughout the month of Ramadan. If you stay until then inshallah you'll have something complete in front of you. Otherwise, it's not aduri here. Time is short on this aduri, but I'll just mention one waqia. बहुत ही मुख्तसर है. Allah ने चाहा तो उसको आइंदा बयान करेंगे, because give a bit of time for dua and that. Barahal, Allah Ta'ala keep us all healthy. Allah Ta'ala give us all the opportunities to do as much as possible in the form of whatever ibadat we can do in the blessed month of Ramadan. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.